On August 27, 2009, a legendary Redditor named Religion of Peace died. To the public, he was just Milo, a 7 to 9-year-old veteran who loved to argue about military history on internet forums. But when his digital pulse stopped, a door opened into a corner of the internet that wasn't supposed to exist. His digital ghost left behind a blueprint for a global mercenary network. This is the Lake City Quiet Pills mystery. It's a story of secret hit squads, coded calendars, and a real-world assassination. Today, we are deconstructing the ultimate glitch in the digital matrix. Milo was an anomaly. He claimed to have seen combat in every major conflict since the 1950s. On Reddit, most users thought he was just a LARPer, someone playing an elaborate character, living out a fantasy online. His posts were filled with intricate details of covert operations and forgotten battles, stories that were a little too good to be true. He was a familiar, if eccentric, part of the community. Then, he passed away. A user named 2to6 posted a final tribute to Milo on a military subreddit, but it wasn't a standard eulogy. It didn't say rest in peace or share fond memories. Instead, it contained a cryptic message and a link to a website that looked like it was stuck in 1995, LakeCityQuietPills.com. At first glance, the site was junk. It was an old, broken image hosting service, littered with dead links and pixelated pictures that wouldn't load. It looked like a forgotten relic of the early internet. But the blueprint was deeper than that. Why would a group of elite, supposedly tech-savvy operators use a website this ugly? Because nobody looks twice at trash. The site's crude design was the perfect camouflage. It was digital noise, a place so uninteresting that it was essentially invisible. But if you knew where to click, if you had the right key, the broken images weren't broken at all. They revealed a massive, encrypted database. A hidden world was operating just beneath the surface of this digital junkyard. To understand the threat, you have to understand the name. In military circles, a quiet pill is slang for a bullet, the permanent, silent way to neutralize a target. The name itself was a declaration of intent. This wasn't a site for sharing family photos. This was business. As internet sleuths began digging into the site's source code and its hidden forums, they found something terrifying. They found job listings. These weren't your typical classifieds. The listings didn't ask for a resume or a cover letter. They asked for 8 to 10-person teams fluent in languages like Arabic, French, and Russian for immediate deployment. The posts detailed requirements for personnel with specific military skill sets, from demolitions to close-quarters combat. These weren't security guards. This was a blueprint for a modern hit squad. One specific post sent a chill through the community of online detectives following the trail. It requested a team for a hotel job in the Middle East. The post was vague but specific enough to be alarming. It mentioned surveillance, discretion, and a high-value target. The internet watched and waited, unsure if they were witnessing a game or the planning of a real-world operation. Then, the world shook. January 19, 2010. A high-ranking Hamas official named Mahmoud al-Mabou is found dead in his luxury hotel room in Dubai. The official cause of death was suffocation. There was no struggle, no fingerprints. Forensics teams found traces of a fast-acting muscle relaxant that had been injected into his leg, paralyzing him before he was smothered. It was a perfect, quiet pill. The execution was so flawless that international media immediately pointed fingers at sophisticated intelligence agencies like Mossad. It was a professional, state-level assassination. But back on Reddit, users noticed a glitch on the Lake City Quiet Pills website. On the very day of the hit, a new message appeared on the site's hidden message board. It read, "The party is over. Milo is throwing a party for the old man." Was this the blueprint confirming the job was done? A coded sign-off? The old man was a known nickname for the target, al-Mabou. The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. It seemed the broken website had just predicted, and then confirmed, a high-profile assassination that was making headlines around the globe. The digital world and the real world had just collided with lethal force. So, what was Lake City Quiet Pills? The mystery only deepened. Some say it was a high-level alternate reality game, an elaborate prank played by bored veterans with too much time on their hands and a deep knowledge of military operations. They argue that the entire thing was a meticulously crafted fiction designed to blur the lines between reality and the web. Others believe it was something far more real, a front for a private military company or a non-state intelligence network that used the public internet to hide their communications in plain sight. By operating on a public forum and a seemingly worthless website, they could recruit, plan, and communicate without attracting the attention of government surveillance systems that were looking for sophisticated encryption on private servers. They were hiding in the light. The site is gone now. Shortly after the assassination and the flurry of online attention, LakeCityQuietPills.com went dark. The Reddit accounts associated with it were deleted. The trail went cold. But the blueprint they left behind, the codes, the dates, and the bodies, is all too real. The digital breadcrumbs lead to a very real, very dead man in a Dubai hotel room. Whether it was a private army for hire or a massive internet prank that got out of hand, the Lake City Quiet Pills mystery proved that the most dangerous things are often hidden in the most boring places. It showed us a crack in the matrix, a peek behind the curtain at a world where clicks and code have real-world, deadly consequences. I'm your host, and this is Bizarre Blueprint. We peel back the layers of the world to show you the strange designs hidden underneath.